Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This channel is dedicated to popularizing and kinds of computer science knowledges, and I'll show you some demo projects in the futures. Welcome to feel free to subscribe me actually. Thank you very much. And today I will introduce the technical Hbase for everyone. We will introduce the Hbase database from original definitions, applications, scenarios, and other aspects of the Hbase. So let's start it. So first of all, let's talk about what is Hbase. Hbase is a distribution scalable NoSQL database that supports massive data storage. As we know that NoSQL is a general term in generally refers to database that is not a non-relational database that uses SQL as main language. Hbase is the open source Java versions of Bigtable. It's a database system based on HDFS that provided high reliability, high performance, column storage, scalabilities, and real-time reading and writing NoSQL stuff. Hbase can only retrieve data by primary key. Actually, in the Hbase is row key, and the primary key range that only supports single row translations, meaning used to storage structures and the same structures lose data. Hbase query data functions is very simple. It's not support the complex operations such as join or like inner joins in the MySQL, like those stuff. And because they do not have really complex query language. Yeah. So technical speaking, Hbase for me is more like a place to store data than a database, because Hbase many features in RDBMS such as type column, second index, and high-level query language, just as I said before. And for data types supporting Hbase, it's byte. It's only the byte. Yeah. Hbase is kind of like Hadoop. Its goal is mainly depending on horizontal expansions. It's increased storage and processing capacities by continuously add cheap commercial servers. For example, if the cluster is expanded from 10 nodes to 20 nodes, the storage capacities and processing capacity will be doubled. And tables in the Hbase generally have such kind of characteristics. First of all, it's really large. A table can have 1 billion rows and a million columns. Yeah, it's really large. It's huge big. And column orientations, column rated family storage and permission control, kind of a column family independent retrieval. And also they have the sparse, like for the long columns, it's like the column if it's long and they will not take in the storage. This is kind of like really good things here. So it's sparse if you design the tables. And then we will talk about the application scenarios of the Hbase. So first of all, the Hbase can be used as object storage. A lot of headlines, news, and web page and pictures are stored in Hbase. and the various data of some various companies are also stored in Hbase. And the Hbase can take the time series data because Hbase is an open STDB, like time series DB. You have to store the timestamp in the Hbase, yeah. So this one can meet the needs of time series scenarios. And also the Hbase can use for recommended priority trace. The user priority trace is relatively large sparse matrix, and the risk controls and financial is built in on Hbase. Anyway, there are a lot of ways to use the technicals from Hbase. Just you need to know the 3 points about that is like here, as long as Hbase have massive data storage and request fast writing and fast reading scenarios, it's very suitable for Hbase. But we have to remember the characteristic of NoSQL is weaker support for transactions. So it can be used to store crawl data like forward bank transfer orders, like those stream data. Yeah, that will be pretty good. And also I give some examples of the which Hbase can do. And so next we're gonna talk about the Hbase data module. So logically, the data module of Hbase is very similar to that of relational database. The data is stored in data with rows and columns, but from people's perspective of Hbase underlines physical storage structure, or we can think about it's a key value structure, but it's actually not. It's a key with a map structure, yeah. So we're gonna talk about that. So such as this. So in Hbase, data is stored in a table with rows and columns. This looks as same as relational database, but it's easier to understand tables as map structures with multiple dimensions. And we can see here this row key. Row key is kind of such as primary keys, and you have to have the primary keys in Hbase. Yeah, it is automatically generated by system, and it's like in self-encryptment. Yes, and you mentioned about there is a column families in Hbase. Like it's easy to understand. It's like the column family can be understood as a series of related columns. There can be many columns under the column family because Hbase it's a column-based database. Yeah, so it stores a lot of columns and a column family in here. So it's kind of like maybe it's not really good to understand, but yeah, you can think about it can be understood that there are many columns stored under each row keys, and each columns and can hold unlimited data. Unlike MySQL, the number of columns is determined when the table is created. Number of columns here is not fixed, so it's different than MySQL, but it's more scalable and more useful. Yeah, and for the basic data, basic things they have the table, and in Hbase they have rows. Yeah, like here is kind of like some information about that, and if you are interested in it, you can read it and go deeper about that. Yeah, and the main thing is the column, because the column is Hbase. In Hbase are composed of the column family and the column qualifiers. So it's like because it's a column based database, so it should be grouped by a column. Yeah, and also they have the things, it's like a cell. So for every cells in Hbase, they have a row, like a row key here, and they have column, which columns they have, and the time, and also they have the value here. So it's kind of like these things. Yeah, and the last one I show, it's like conceptual models of Hbase. The above table have 2 rows and 3 columns, which is contents, acros, and peoples. The com.cnn, the www rows has 2 columns for the acro columns. Yeah, which is acro CNN ones and acro quote my.look.ca ones. So this is like kind of like the things is in the same group, and they have the 2 acro. Yeah, it's like a group, it's like a map. So this is like basic conceptual of the Hbase. So if we want to use the Hbase really quickly, we can go to AWS and using the EMR, which can create a cluster really fast for using the Hbase. If you just want to play that, you just click go into the AWS and find here, and just select like this, and then you create a cluster. It will be automatically create an environment for you, and then you can use the Hbase for that. Yeah, you see it's currently now starting, and after they finish, and it will be give you Hbase, and which is stored at the S3 bucket of AWS. I just temporarily show you kind of like how to go into how to build this, and it's all still pending this, and just from here you can build a Hbase here. Yeah.